Thanks for tuning in to High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to all the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
Ghosts of the Void had a limited run at the theater and it toured the festivals, but tomorrow on November 7th it'll be available to stream everywhere. Ghosts of the Void is a horror drama that takes place over one night in a car in a parking lot, and we're going to review it today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one.
All right. Well, it's Trainwreck. We got to start every episode with that. Today I got some blue blockers.
I don't need any of that, bro.
From,
I don't need any of those.
Cannabis. You don't need them blue dick pills. You John Jones. It's only it's a little mellow on the THC here. It's 18.13%. But
still decent.
Yeah, and then of course always our description from Leafly.
Oh, God.
Blue Blockers is a hybrid weed strain made from a genetic cross between blueberry and northern lights. I mean, I like northern lights. The strain is about 80% indica and 20% sativa. How did they figure that out? I mean, I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some
stupid.
real lab technicians in there working on some of that shit, man.
Blue Blockers is named after the sunglasses that block blue light, which may help with insomnia and eye strain. Oh, okay. So there's a purpose behind the strain name. Okay. Oh, wow. They say it comes in at around 21% THC. I got the weak stuff, I guess. Making this strain an ideal choice for experienced cannabis consumers. Leafly customers tell us Blue Blockers effects include feeling euphoric, sleepy, and relaxed. Medical marijuana patients usually choose this when dealing with symptoms associated with anxiety, stress, and insomnia. As I said, it's from District Cannabis. And Blue Blockers features flavors like blueberry, berry, and pear. And the dominant terpene of this strain is, I always love trying to say these, caryophyllene. That's way off. Blue Blockers is a potent and flavorful strain that can help you unwind and drift off to a peaceful sleep. And there's only 2 reviews. I guess it must be new because it's only from August and September of this year. The one person said that the taste left a bit to be desired, but it didn't taste bad by any means. The high was great, really helped my arthritis, and it's like 28%. Damn, I must have really got the weak one. Definitely grab it if you're on the fence. I want some 28%.
Yeah, right?
Wait, did I say mine's 18?
Yeah.
I think maybe he might have mistyped that.
Well, I wanted to bring up something that you had actually brought to my attention a few days ago. They Follow. Director David Robert Mitchell of They Follow. Oh my God, listen to me. David Robert Mitchell of It Follows announced that they are going to be doing a sequel called They Follow, still starring Maika Monroe. That's actually, if it comes out next year, that'll be 10 years since the first one. Can you believe?
Damn, it's been 10 years?
Yeah, dude, it came out in 2014.
I did not think it's been that long.
So, I mean, I'm down.
And it's very divisive.
My problem is that David Robert Mitchell, I don't know if it's by his own choice or not, but he has not done like anything since. So I'm like wondering if this is a reach, like a reaching up for hey, I need to get myself back out there and cash in on the only movie that got me known type of deal. But whatever, if it's good, I'll take it.
Yeah, I just don't see the need for a sequel.
Yeah,
I feel like that had the ending. Like, I mean, I feel like the ending was good enough. You didn't need to. I just worry it's going to be one of those ones that like let's explore the origins of this.
Well, it's called They Follow because apparently it's like spreading like a virus where there's like several like beings now following people, and I can already see that getting out of hand.
Aliens?
I could whatever it is that follows you. There's several of them in this one, and I just think that kind of sounds like a bad idea, kind of.
Yeah, I mean we'll see, and I mean 10 years later.
And you had something you wanted to bring up, right?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask what, it's the week after Halloween. You do anything good for Halloween? Oh, man, you over there dying. Maybe, I'll tell you what I did for Halloween while you're over there recovering.
Josh, please edit some of this. Please edit
or
some
don't,
of this.
just leave it all in there in all its glory. Yeah, I'll throw it back to you.
You fucking made me laugh, man.
He sounded like it sounded like a lawnmower when it start.
All right, here I go. So for Halloween, I just went. I had a Halloween costume party at work, and then I just came home and got my kids dressed. Abel went as Freddy Fazbear from 5 Nights at Freddy's, and my youngest went as Buzz Lightyear. And when I came home, it's also my wedding anniversary, so we fucked up my kids' candy when they went to bed and ordered some Applebee's.
The dad tax.
Had some Applebee's and watched Halloween. What about you?
I went out trick or treat, and we took Nicole's niece, and we took out Erie. I got him a costume, even though literally I put him in the stroller. Mm-hmm. We kept moving, and you'd see him drifting off like a car. And we got to the curb, and he was done. He was done most of the way. He would get up and start crying a little bit when we were going with all the kids to different houses, and then eventually he just started just wouldn't stop. And so my friend was like, just going back to my house, and I'm like, all right. I was like, I'll meet you guys there. So
he just started like taking a fit, basically.
Yeah. So I'm just like pushing the stroller down like we had got all the way down to the beginning of our neighborhood. It's probably like a mile and a quarter. Like I had to walk back with this kid, and Nicole was already back at the house, and I'm like, can you hear us coming down the street? She's like, oh my God, you're killing my kid, because he's just
oh my God, he was screaming the whole time.
Like,
you pushed
bro,
him?
I can't go any faster, I'm just pushing you. We found out what it was. I went to take him out of the car seat. I went, oh God. We had him as Gizmo.
Yeah.
The white area on his back was brown. I was like, oh, you sharted on yourself.
God. Oh, God.
And see, Nicole changed him. She's like, it actually wasn't that bad. What it was because of how he was sitting in the stroller. It just kind of went up his back. But we were able to
he was pissed that he shit himself, basically, and that was what the fuss was.
One thing, he does not do well with shit on him. He wants that off immediately. He one of those babies that'll just sit in it.
So he fucked his costume up. Damn it.
And then, we watched Halloween, and he fell back asleep because that's his lullaby.
Awesome.
Dude, it's funny because it's multiple people now that we were like, because of me watching the Halloween series while he's up at night, feeding and changing him, people are like, that's not really his lullaby. And then like he'll start freaking out, and we'll be like, Alexa or whatever, play Halloween theme, and you just watch him. And you just like see him like almost just relax.
That's hilarious. It's good
hilarious. Because he'll have the opposite of me as a kid, being terrified anytime I would hear the music. So much so when I went trick-or-treating, I think I might have said this on the show, there was a house in my neighborhood, and the guy would sit there dressed up as the Shape, and my sister purposely saved it for the last house of the night.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, go ahead up there. I was like,
Oh, you did? You did say that.
She
you weren't
went up
fucking
there,
around.
and I was like, nope. Still not going up. She was like, you were gone. You were halfway up the street back to the house. I was like,
That's hilarious.
I ain't gonna let the Shape get me.
I'm just still laughing that your kid raised such a fit over like Jesus Christ. He screamed all the way.
Dude, you just see a brown
for
spot.
a mile, dude. Holy shit! Like
it was you're
probably thinking the whole time, Jesus Christ.
Actually, I was like, I know there's nothing that can fix this situation right now. So he's just dude. I'm just passing all these other families, just pushing a stroller in the street, going, and just this kid just it was like every house.
Oh, that's funny.
And then I watched Halloween, and Nicole and I went back home, and I had to watch Halloween too, even though it was after midnight.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I put on Halloween 3 earlier today. So.
Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, okay, let's get into the movie here a little bit. I just wanted to say that so talking about Ghosts of the Void here, we have another movie with another first-time director. Jason Miller is the man behind the camera in Ghosts of the Void. And he's one of the many directors who got their start doing short films that eventually went full movie. His past works that are worth mentioning are The Whisperers and Blood Brothers, both of which got good reviews, but I've seen neither, so I can't say. But what I can say is don't be fooled by the mask on the cover of Ghosts of the Void, because it looks like a straight Purge ripoff. It is not. This is very much its own movie.
I do like the mask, though.
Agreed. But that's not to say that this movie doesn't have its fair share of chaos like the Purge movies do. Anyway, go ahead and take us through it.
All right, I'll just read the synopsis that was sent to us here. Jen and Tyler used to have it all: a solid marriage, a nice home, and careers that promised a bright future. But when Tyler's drinking problems worsen and his writer block continues, the debt collectors show no mercy, forcing the couple out of their home and into their car. Beyond stressed and exhausted and overwhelmed with feelings of failure, Jen and Tyler park their car in a vacant lot, hoping to get a good night's sleep before dealing with the realities of tomorrow. However, their sleep becomes interrupted by homeless passerby, mischievous local kids, and eventually ominous strangers in heroin masks. Yeah, so the film's interesting because it literally does just take place in that parking lot and just like the surrounding area, which again is smart for, we've talked about this numerous times for low budget films. I
gotta say, I don't mean to interject, but I gotta say, I'm glad I didn't read the synopsis before I watched it, because the synopsis kind of gave a lot away, and I would have known more about the movie had I read that. So I'm glad that I went in a little bit more blinded, because there were some things in there that would have spoiled things for me.
All I knew was that first part, just that, you know, they were in the car in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And I saw the poster looks amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
But, where was I? Yeah. And then, the movie before it opens, has a quote from George Carlin. And, I love George Carlin. So.
Yeah, you do. You've always been a Carlin fan.
But, it's definitely a slow burn. Mm-hmm. It's definitely creepy at times. I don't want to give too much away, but to be honest with you, I just felt like I didn't care for it.
Okay.
It has that slow burn, but just, I didn't really care about the characters.
Okay.
It's just hard to, it's just when that movie's missing that something, but you don't know what that something is. And it just felt like, one, it took forever to get going. Like, you can have a slow burn, but you still have stuff happening. Not to spoil anything for people who want to see this, but it's literally the first 40 minutes are just them literally having conversations in the car. And I just said literally like I was Linda in Halloween saying totally. But yeah, like the first 40 minutes of an hour and a half movie is just them talking in the car about and rehashing pretty much the same stuff. The part, and I think the only thing that made this film longer was doing those like flashbacks and cutting them in through the movie. Because there was points where I'm like, oh, okay, where's this go? Okay, we're going to just have a flashback.
Kind of stalling the pace a little bit, yeah. Which
was already a movie that's a slow burn to stall it even more. I'm interested because like you're giving me poker face over here, so I don't know. Like we well, I guess we didn't say it. We said it before we went on air. We haven't said anything. The only thing said about the movie was, I think, have you watched it yet? And I think the one time I was like, yeah, I got 5 minutes left. Or I was telling you, I said, have you watched it? I said, I got 5 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, I said, I'm watching it tomorrow. I didn't even tell you that I watched it. Yeah.
So I literally know nothing. As I'm talking about my opinions of not liking it, I'm getting nothing. I'm trying to read your facial cues to see if you're in agreement, disagreement. I'm getting nothing, but...
Well, what would you rate it? And then I'll tell you my opinion. I want to hear your rating on this.
I guess I'm not a fan of a slow burn on a slow burn.
Okay.
Oh, man. I'm going to sound terrible. Like a 4.5 out of 10.
That's bad.
It's bad. 4.5.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at your rating. It's just because it seemed like you did it so begrudgingly, like you didn't want to admit it.
Like, man, I went into this film thinking I was really going to like it. And when I told you there was 5 minutes left, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything else because I was about to go, I got 5 minutes left, and this movie's fucking terrible. Wait, that sounds really harsh to say fucking terrible, I guess.
Listen, so I think that what's funny is that you and I actually agree on the movie. We come to the same conclusion of the movie. But we like different things about it. But
the cinematography's good.
What I thought was missing, my element that I thought was missing was a proper conclusion. and I'll explain. I'll get there. First, I just want to say that the
Which
fact
is
that,
also, now that you say that, not to cut you off, but that is also one of my other problems with the movie.
yeah. Well, the fact that the movie stars two people, Tedra Millen and Michael Reagan, who nobody really knows. I mean that with all due respect, but they've really just mainly done like episodes of shows here and there, like 1, 2, or 3 episodes of like a random show here and there, you know. But I think that actually helps this movie because I thought they were good actors and they're not familiar faces.
Yeah.
So I thought that they carried the movie with ease actually, and I found their chemistry amazing. I thought they had a real relationship with real relationship problems, man. Like they've been kicked out of their residence, waiting for unemployment to kick in. They're living in their car with $40 to their name, sleeping in a parking lot, pawning their property.
They just made a ton of bad decisions
just to have enough gas.
Me.
Yeah, right. But they did all this just to have enough gas to park for the night, And I will say, I won't spoil things too much, but I like how the movie misleads you a bit, and that's what I was referring to the synopsis earlier because. Having not read that, you start the movie, or I started the movie thinking that Jen is the unstable one. She's the one freaking out and being depressed, and Tyler's the one in the good mood. He's the one staying strong for her, but it turns out to be the complete opposite. And this movie is not a jump scare fest. It's one of those like that slowly creeps up on you and kind of sticks with you like the way The Strangers did. It's not as good as The Strangers, but in that same like creeping up on you. However, I feel that this movie would have been better playing it straightforward. See, I didn't mind the slow burn and I didn't mind the relationship element, but I just don't think they pulled off the twist at all. I don't think they pulled the psychological aspect off well. They ruined the movie for me. They should have just committed to it being a random crime with masked antagonists. Ghost of the Void was just fine before the twist. It didn't need the psychological angle, and the music playing at the end, that soft bullshit music, just made it even less impactful. And what the fuck was up with the golfers? Why did it end with people golfing? Well, did you? I was like, are those people? Like, were we supposed to think those were who the fuck was that?
I just took it as they paved over the parking lot and it became a golf course.
Oh, okay. I didn't put that together. To me, it just
that's what I took from it.
But
this, I still
Sarah McLachlan bullshit song playing, and then some people golfing. I was like, what the fuck kind of?
And I
ending?
ain't gonna lie, I fast forwarded through the credits.
Yeah,
because I'm like, is there another scene?
I didn't even do it. I was like,
is there an end credits thing here? And I'm like, they're still, dude. They play golf throughout the whole credits.
But I will say that it may stumble in execution, but it's not overly ambitious, like you had mentioned earlier. It keeps it straightforward and simple, and that works fine.
Which is another thing that drew me to it. I'm like, okay, one location.
That always works fine for low budget movies
You're
like this.
You're sitting in a parking lot all night. Okay, stuff can happen.
Correct.
But it just they're terrible. They're both terrible people.
Yeah, that's I agree. And there's things that I love about this movie, and there were things that I absolutely hated. Unfortunately, though, you can't forgive an unsatisfying ending. So I'm a little bit more lenient than you. I gave it a 6 out of 10, but trust me, a 6 out of 10 is still a fail for me. 6 out of 10 is I'll never watch it again.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm sure Josh would agree. There's a lot of toxic masculinity and toxic femininity.
Oh yeah,
in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Josh, our producer, will definitely agree.
But what really got me, dude, was like I said, the movie it doesn't just have a twist on like you thinking that it's Tedra or what's her name? I can't think of I can't think of the character's name, but either way, the actress, Tedra, like the fact that you think she's the one that's like all like fucked up and made them in this bad situation that they're in, and it turns out that she's not. It's her boyfriend. And Tyler, her name's Jen. That's correct, right? Her name's Jen, and he's Tyler.
Yeah, the actress is Tedra Miller.
Right. Okay.
Or Millen. It's Jen and Tyler.
Okay, yeah. So basically, like I said, you're thinking Jen's she's the one that fucked their relationship up and got them to be poor, and you find out that it's actually Tyler. And then the other thing was that like you're meant to think, or you start off thinking like, you know what, these two have like a really good relationship and a really good bond. Like they have a really good, like like they have their shit together, like not in financially obviously, but like as a couple, like they were like really sweet together. And then as the movie goes on, that starts to unravel, and you start to think they're a fucking terrible couple, and like you said, they're awful people. So I do feel that there were certain like misleading things, and I like those elements, but it's just not enough to save the movie.
And yeah, like I was saying about the slow burn, it's like usually you use flashbacks to kind of slow a movie up, let the audience kind of pull back, but this is already a slow burn,
yeah.
And then you're pulling them back even more for the. maybe I think it would have been better without maybe the flashbacks if it just kind of played
Yeah.
from their problems and went into it. I guess we can get into some spoilers now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't care about the movie being spoiled, keep listening. If you do, turn it off now.
Okay, like I don't mind unreliable narrator movies. I like them, but at least make the unreliable narrator make sense.
Yes.
Like
People
maybe I didn't
about-
understand it because I saw something about said, "Oh, this is their critique of the American dream," which I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like John Carpenter when he was like, I didn't get the Barbie stuff," or he was like, he said, "I didn't get the patriarchy stuff in Barbie."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe help me if you understood it better. The psychological stuff made zero sense to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I've tried to think about this, and I'm like, what am I not getting? Maybe it does, maybe I just didn't get it, but
people complain about high tension not adding up and making sense. I'm like, well, good fucking luck if you watch this one.
yeah, because it just really.
It goes from being three masked purge-looking motherfuckers to it just being her, basically. How the fuck do you invent three masked people? What?
And something has to be left. I think that was what it was, or what one of the ghosts, I guess, were telling her that they had to leave something, and I'm like, why? Like,
yeah.
Basically alluding to the fact that she has to leave Tyler there, and I get the whole like, oh, it's kind of makes sense with their relationship. They need to just kind of leave each other, but I just. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that the whole, like, again, mentioning high tension.
It just wasn't pulled off well.
That's what I was going to say. I like high tension, but and mentioning movies with this type of twist, that tends to happen a lot anymore where it'll be always fun. We talked about this before in our monster episodes, how it's like the monster as well. It's not like the killer or the monster. It's always the person. It's a psychological thing. It was them. It was a fake monster or, it was a metaphor. And I just feel that it's been done before, that if you're going to use that shit again, it has to be done better than what was done here. It's just not enough to stand out and be good enough, honestly.
And those masks did look badass, though. I did like them.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, sorry, this wasn't one of our more positive reviews.
Yeah,
but,
I was surprised. I thought
we
maybe...
give honest reviews. We're not going to bullshit you, we appreciate getting sent movies and stuff like that. We'll always appreciate that, but it doesn't guarantee that we're going to love the movie. And we're not going to lie to our listeners.
We're not IGN.
Yeah, and
although I think Josh does say we're too favorable on movies sometimes.
I think so too. I've been trying to crack the whip a little more, so to speak, but this actually made it a little easier because I really was disappointed with this one.
Yeah, it was. It's not going to be on my top movie list of 2023.
You'll watch it for Halloween next year.
No, that's not going to happen. But if you do want to see it, despite our shitty review, don't just take us at our word. Go waste your own time. No. No. If you do want to see it, it'll be streaming November 7th.
And feel free to hit us up in our comments or write into our PPA.
Tell us we're fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, and tell us your opinion of it. We'd love to talk about it.
The psychological part was good because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, convince us. We'd love to talk.
Come
about
at me,
it.
bro. Oh. All right, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
Thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. Make sure to follow us online at High on Horror 420 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We'll update you with our next episode. And send us your PPA questions at highonhorror420@gmail.com. Check out our website, highonhorror.com. And I guess I'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.